All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and here we go. Now, this one right here is coming from Doug. Now, this right here is what Latitia James them get. You know, they tried to set the bargain so high on Donald Trump with this $455 million fine plus taxes and fees and stuff like that. Now they looking bad because they really didn't want Donald Trump to appeal this. They didn't think he was going to be able to do it. The reason why they went from 100 million to 200 million, then went straight up to 400 and some million, just trying to get rid of Donald Trump. Come to find out, Donald Trump just started the appeal, and they don't like it at all. Judge Engoron don't like it. I ain't even gonna say Judge Engoron. I'm gonna say corrupt Engoron didn't like it, and Latitia James, which is another person that we know is corrupt. They've been going after Donald Trump for the longest, and we're all sick of this crap. But let's go ahead and dive straight into this. He said, "You won't believe what the judge said to Latitia James after Donald Trump started the appeal." So like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing some more support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody who clicked on the video for the very first time. I appreciate all of you. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Please hit that like button so more people can see how corrupt Latitia James and this corrupt Engoron really is. So without further ado, let's dive straight to it.
Has appealed his New York decision. That is the one that Latitia James brought under Judge Engoron without a trial. And they charged him for exaggerating his property value. And they charged him like $350 million, ends up being $400 million. Yeah. There was a question whether if Trump could raise the bond or whatever. I got to tell you, there's so many articles that lie about Trump that I can't even read them here. So I'm doing a lot of the finding the most trustworthy source, even if that source is from Democrat institutions like the Associated Press. So welcome to Doug in Exile. That's part of my job, is to bring you the news that you can trust that brings good news about Trump. Here's a list of the 3 headlines that just blew up this morning. This is from 2 hours ago. AP News, this is one of our articles. I won't read that one. So WBAL TV, Donald Trump appeals $454 million judgment in New York civil fraud case. The Daily Beast, Trump officially appeals $464 million bank fraud judgment. Okay, let's get to that AP Associated Press article. Donald Trump appeals $454 million judgment in New York civil fraud case. I'm just going to kind of scan this article and find the big reasons and news behind everything. New York, Donald Trump has appealed his $454 million New York civil fraud judgment, challenging the judge's finding that he lied about his wealth and he grew his real estate empire that launched him to stardom and the presidency. The former president's lawyers filed notices of appeal Monday, that's today, asking the state's mid-level appeals court to overturn Judge Arthur Engoron's February 16th verdict in Attorney General Latitia James's lawsuit and reverse staggering penalties that threaten to wipe out Trump's cash reserves. Trump's lawyers wrote in court papers that they're asking the appeals court to decide whether Engoron, quote, committed errors of law and or fact, and whether he abused his discretion or, quote, acted in excess of his jurisdiction. They're just going to ask this mid-level appeals court in New York going, are you sure Engoron did something legal? Now, Trump's appeal won't automatically halt enforcement of the judgment. The Republican presidential frontrunner had until March 25th to secure what's known as a stay, a legal mechanism pausing collection while he appeals. Trump would receive an automatic stay if he puts up the money, the $400 million, assets, or an appeal bond covering what he owes. Trump's lawyers could also ask the appeals court to grant a stay without obtaining a bond or with a bond for a lower amount. So there's all these different options he has. They didn't tell us which one he did. We'll get to that later in the article. Trump's lawyers did not immediately respond to a reporter's questions Monday, asked if he had posted an appeal bond or if he was in the process of securing one. So I think he's probably in the process of getting one. That is, how much will a bank loan him that $400 million for? How little does he have to actually pay? Does he have to put up? Like, can he put up $25 million and have the bank back him up for $400 million, right? How good is his money? In a statement issued through a spokesman, Trump lawyer Alina Habba addressed only the appeal itself, saying, quote, "We trust that the appellate division will overturn this egregious fine and take the necessary steps to restore the public faith in New York's legal system." That's kind of generic boilerplate stuff, but I'm happy that she's saying it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's one benefit to Trump's appeal. Not so much that he gets to reverse his judgment, but listen. The appeal ensures that the legal fight over Trump's business practices will persist into the thick of the presidential primary season. See, he can campaign on this and likely beyond as he tries to clinch the Republican presidential nomination in his quest to retake the White House. So he could become president, which helps protect him from some of this stuff. Trump maintains that he is worth several billion dollars and testified last year that he had about $400 million in cash, in addition to properties and other investments. Latitia James, a Democrat, told ABC News that if Trump is unable to pay, she will seek to seize some of his assets. Trump doesn't need her to seize them. He could sell his assets and just hand her the money. Okay. He's good for $400 million. He could just what he has in Trump apartments in some New York property. He could sell a few of them and pay it off. Trump's lawyer, Christopher Keiss, said after the verdict that the former president was confident the appeals court, quote, "will ultimately correct the innumerable and catastrophic errors made by a trial court untethered to the law or to reality," unquote. If the decision stands, Habba said, quote, "it will serve as a signal to every single American that New York is no longer open for business," unquote.
And that's the thing, though, because a lot of people, like I said before, I mentioned Kevin O'Leary was talking about he'll never do business in New York. And if this judge, especially if they turn this over, this judge can be in serious trouble. He can be in serious trouble because we all know that this case was pretty much over with before it even started. That he already ruled against Donald Trump. He already said Donald Trump was guilty. Now Donald Trump done started the appeal, which is something Letitia James didn't even want him to do. They don't want Donald Trump to pay anything. They ain't want him to start the appeal. They ain't want him to do nothing. She was already bragging about, we did this to this illegitimate president. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to take his money. I'm going to seize his business. Just all of this stuff. I'm telling you, Letitia James is the one that needs to be fired. She's the one that needs to be removed. Her and that corrupt judge, Engoron, both of them need to be fired at the same exact time for this crap. We obviously can see that they both have been working together for the longest. How you going to rule Donald Trump guilty before it even started? Before it even started, you say he was guilty. So he basically was just showing up to court for no reason, getting gag orders put on him, couldn't say anything. So it's just crazy. I cannot wait for the day that it said that Judge Engoron has been fired, has been removed. I am waiting. And Letitia James as well, both of them. It's hard for me to even pick who is the worst. Who is worse, Letitia James or Fannie Willis? Or is they both in the same ballpark? Y'all let me know that in the comment section. Who is worse, Letitia James or Fannie Willis, or do you think they both the same? Let me know in the comment section, but hopefully that right here they do the right thing and get this turned over, because if not, New York ain't gonna be nobody having no business in New York, because they're gonna be scared that they'll let somebody like Letitia James be able to say, "Oh, you making too much money. Let's get you in court." And then they've been already ruled against you before it even started. They're going to do that to everybody. If you can do that to Trump, they'll try to do that to anybody. So they're going to make people not want to do anything. We heard what Byron Donald said. He said, forget New York. Y'all come to Florida. I'm telling you, if they let this stand, this gonna make New York look really, really bad.
That is what's at stake with this particular payment, is New York's reputation in the entire, not just our country, but the entire world. New York will be seen as a politicized, political state. If you're in the wrong party and you own a business in New York, you better watch out if you're not paying off Engoron and Latitia James, because they're coming for you. If Trump were to pay the penalty at this stage, instead of obtaining a stay, the money would be held in a court escrow account while the appeal plays out, says the Associated Press. If the court overturns the verdict, the money would be returned to Trump. So even if he puts the money up and he gets his appeal, you know, the money can still come back to him.
That's a good thing. So if Trump put the money up and they get overturned, he would get all of that money back. Look, I'm telling y'all, man, I cannot wait. I'm going to be jumping out of my seat. I cannot wait for that to happen. There's no way they finna make this right here stand. If Trump gets his money back and they get overturned, Latitia James and that judge both need to be fired. That's exactly what needs to happen.
The appellate division could either uphold Engoron's verdict, reduce or modify the penalty, or overturn the decision entirely. If Trump is unsuccessful at the appellate division, he can ask the state's highest court, because he's in the mid-level court right now, the Court of Appeals, to consider taking the case. Then I found this little detail over at The Hill on their coverage of the same story. The judge also expanded the authority of an independent monitor to oversee the Trump organization's finances and imposed fines against Trump's sons and top company executives. So the city of New York also installed a overseer into Trump's company to make sure it's compliant. So a snitch, a weirdo, a rat, a government operative. So I'll keep you guys posted on this one. I do hope it gets overturned on appeal. I also hope it just gets delayed until Trump gets elected as president. Because really, I think New York's in trouble, but the whole country's in trouble if Trump doesn't become president. That's the big picture of this whole thing. Let me know in the comments below, will New York survive if this judgment stands? Number one.
I don't think so.
And will America survive if Biden wins another presidency?
There's no way this right here is going to stand. But like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about all of this. Obviously, Trump done started the appeal. Alina Habba did say that they're going to pay the money. They're going to appeal it because they're not going to just let this stand. Because like I said, this is just crazy, the way that they are trying to do Donald Trump. And I am just waiting on Judge Engoron and Latitia James to be removed. But like I said, thank you all for watching. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.